Welcome and greetings, beloved. My name is Beaumont, and this is Vibrational Guidance Over Truth, a sacred space where we honor the messages that speak not just to the mind, but to the soul. Here we allow the vibes, the sensations, and the subtle whispers within the body, like the chills across the skin, the flutter in the chest, and the gentle goosebumps that will help us confirm if these messages are in alignment or reveal something that is not in alignment. These messages are drawn through the colors, images, numbers, and symbolic guidance of the cards. This is not a traditional tarot or oracle channel. I am not an astrologer, nor do I present these readings as fixed truths. Instead, I invite you to journey with me through themed weekly readings where we explore four different decks, a new one each day, and towards the end of the week, a combination of the decks used throughout the week. And the intention is simple. If your ancestors, your spiritual team, or the divine truth has been trying to reach you, and if those messages have not yet come across clearly through people, signs, or life experiences, may this space be where you finally hear what is meant for you. These readings are for entertainment purposes only, though you can use them for spiritual reflection. Always take what resonates, leave what does not. And if there is a message meant for you, may you catch it and heed its call. If you would like to support the flow of this work, you can find the links to the Amazon wishlist and the Cash App donation portal in the description box below. These help keep this space rich with new decks and materials that honor the evolving themes and the evolving spirit of the collective. This channel is the result of me choosing to be in alignment with what would serve the collective in a soft, sacred, and vibrationally honest way with my energy. I am honored to walk this journey with you. This space is rooted in love, not performance, not prediction, and not perfection. Love is the frequency that guides each message, and love is what has brought you here. So, welcome home, and I'm so excited for this reading. So, the decks I will be using in this reading will primarily be the Oceanic Tarot. And the second deck we will be using for the most part is the Healing Waters Oracle. So, let's get started with our reading. All right, spirit guides, what messages do you have for the collective? What would you like to communicate to the collective this evening? Because it is evening where I am. And this is my first evening nighttime message. All right, what messages would you like to relay to the collective this evening? Thank you so much. What messages would you like to relay to the collective this evening? Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, for what you have chosen to say. I think you're going to be clear and succinct in this message. What would you like to say? Okay, let's see the cards that have come out. All right, up first, Spirit has in the reverse, interestingly, let me make sure I did not read these in the reverse. No, I did not. So in the reverse, we have the Six of Pentacles, generosity. So needing to not be generous right now, whether it be with your energy or your finances, which is what pentacles typically mean. And all of these are going to be in reverse. So I do read reversals because at the beginning, I ensure that all cards are upright. And here we also have the Queen of the Ocean, abundance. So someone's abundance is in the reverse as well. Next, we have in the reverse the Page of Cups, which is imagination. So someone's imagination is in the reverse. Next, we also have the Three of Water, which is motivation. Motivation is in the reverse. And then finally, we have here the Strength card, stability, which is also in the reverse. All right. So it's very clear that within the collective, there are a group of people who are feeling financially strained, whether it be due to lifestyle choices or circumstances, situations that have popped up, a sense of feeling like you can help out the greater good, donate to a homeless shelter, or volunteer in a soup kitchen, or whatever it would be from your overflow of abundance in your life. That sense of being able to be generous is not with you right now. And for those of you who maybe, whether it be going to a particular community like a church and you're used to giving, you're not having as much to give. This might be weighing on your heart. Then, as it pertains to the abundance with the Queen of the Ocean, someone's abundance, again, that sense of having enough of an overflow to give and still be comfortable, is not with you. So, financial message. And then, as it pertains to your thinking about yourself, the Page of Cups. So, being able to fill up your own cup and feel like you have enough love and great ideas about your life and new chapters that you can take, or excitement about just where you are and feeling comfortable. That sense of imagination is not with you. Maybe potentially dull or mundane or looping thoughts that you want to get out of the loop of. And then right here, we have the Three of Water. So motivation and feeling like there's a lack of motivation. And maybe Spirit is trying to relay to you that you need to get your motivation back and tap back into what your imagination allows you to create. And then finally, unfortunately, we also have the Strength in reverse. And here there is a person opening up a net, a gentleman, a masculine, actually opening up a net that has caught fish and is freeing the fish. So your ability to feel strong enough to free others potentially, or do the service work that you have been doing, is not with you. So let's definitely get some clarity for this reading. Spirit guides, could you please clarify why feeling generous, feeling abundant, using our imagination and our motivation, mental, physical, material, and our overall well-being, why these cards have come out in the reverse? Could you tell us why these cards came out in the reverse? Are there any clarifying messages from the Healing Waters Oracle about why these came out in the reverse? Okay, no answer. The answer is what it is. And to choose to be obedient, I'm not going to take what's at the bottom of the deck, but I'm going to seek clarity from the original deck. So Spirit guides, why did these cards come out in the reverse? Why did they come out in the reverse? And these cards are all in the upright. Why did these come out in the reverse? Okay. Whoa. Okay. We have answers for specific areas of life. Thank you so much. Why did these messages come out in the reverse? What would you like for the collective to know? Thank you so much. Okay. So we were meant to come back to this deck. And Spirit has answered clearly on this pile and on this pile. So we're going to look at the answers as the cards have fallen where they have touched. So looking back, because this card is facing the past, we have the Hermit card, and this is contemplation. So potentially the answer for why the lack of generosity is here is something you should go into hermit mode and contemplate why your finances are the way they are. What choices have you made? What circumstances have come up? What's going on in your environment that has caused you to feel this lack of generosity? And then what we also have here is the King of the Ocean, so order. And this is also in the direction of the past. So where has there potentially been a lack of order in your past, whether it be finances and budgeting, that has caused you to not feel generous? Now, more so over the abundance in reverse, at the top, we have moving forward, the 10 of Cups. So the ability to be abundant is in your future. And this completion is what's necessary in order to get to the 10 of Cups. So thank you, Spirit, so much for clarifying that. What we also have here looking is prosperity. So the Ace of Pentacles. So being prosperous is something that you were in the past when you had your finances in order. So this might be something where Spirit is telling you, hey, there are a lot of free resources online on the internet. Look up a free PDF on personal financial guidance or budgeting, or a free audio book, and just get some new advice, some new information in your ear to help you to become aware of your habits. And with that contemplation and bringing the order back that you had in the past to your finances, you can be prosperous again from bringing that order, and your 10 of Cups will come in the future after you do some contemplation. And then finally, we also have here, moving towards the future, the star card, hope. I love that. So the divines are clearly telling us there is hope for this lack of abundance and this lack of feeling generous right now. What you need to do is go into hermit mode, contemplate, bring order, utilize free resources or paid resources if you would like to that are online. And by doing that, this contemplation of adjustments you need to make now is going to bring in your prosperity, which you have seen before in the past, and put you in the position to be the star again where you can be abundant and generously give. Now, as it pertains not to the physical, but to the more mental, the imagination and the motivation in the reverse, what we have here is first the judgment card, self reflection. And so, potentially with your imagination and with your motivation, you need to reflect what have your thoughts been on? Because this is more of an air thinking set of cards here in the middle. Interesting how finances came out in twos and then thinking came out in twos. But more mental, self reflect, cast judgment on yourself. And judgment doesn't need to be this stereotypical, colloquial, societal negative term. Casting judgment and accurately defining for yourself what are the good, the bad, the pros and the cons of a situation, and judging rightfully what has worked and what has not worked is what's going to give you the proper use of your thoughts, your imagination, so that you can move forward. So cast judgment on your thoughts. Next, we have here moving towards the past is the love card. So potentially your thoughts around love, maybe you've been daydreaming a lot about love and your motivation on potentially feeling like the love that you have in your life towards yourself or towards others, or the love that you're feeling from others is not adequate. Whatever that was in the past, that mental blockage, it's holding you up. So you need to work towards releasing, whether it be with a paid professional or with self-help books or incorporating mantras or prayer or sitting in silence and meditating in your life. But reflect, because these are mental cards, reflect and even create within your imagination, visualize, daydream about what type of love you want in your life. And if you could heal the love that you had in the past that was not adequate, what type of thoughts would you think in order to heal that type of love? And then going along with motivation, what motivates you to love? And how are you loving yourself and filling up your cup of love before you try to pour into others? So we have more reflection here, self-reflection, and then reflection on love, which is awesome. Thank you so much for this clarity, Spirit. We have the Five of Swords, conflict. So again, there is some conflict here, and we have dolphins and dolphins and dolphins here. So maybe someone, or excuse me, this is actually a shark in this card, not a dolphin. So we have dolphins, and then we have a shark. Conflict. So what is the shark? What is the thorn in your side? What are the five thoughts, because we're moving with thoughts here, what are the five thoughts that you have towards yourself that you need to cast judgment on, you need to spend some time reflecting on, and then you need to heal those negative thoughts towards yourself and put love on it. So what do you need to do? Reflection around what's the conflict, the tension in your life. And then your body is probably holding this tension, maybe in your shoulders, maybe in your chest, maybe in your abdomen, or your hips, or your thighs, or your knees. Where is this conflict showing up in your body? Do some reflection and then give yourself some grace and love. Spirit also has out here the sun, happiness. So happiness is something, when you rise to the surface after this deep reflection, you can be happy again, but it's going to take you bringing awareness, which is what Spirit is wanting to do with these cards, to what you're thinking about. What is your imagination, your thought process on? And then motivate yourself, come up out of that hard place through some deep self-reflection, through looking at what's causing you conflict, through giving love back to yourself, and you can be happy again. So thank you so much, Divines, for this card here of happiness. And our final card is the illusion, the moon card. So something has been causing you to cast an illusion and to not properly reflect on where you've been putting your thoughts. As a man thinketh, so is he. So it says in certain sacred texts. And so as you think, as you hold energy in your emotions about yourself, that is what manifests. So what are the illusions, the things that you have thought that are not in alignment with your highest, best good will and way? And how do you reflect on that in a healthy way, whether it be through paid professional assistance or with a life coach, or with a friend, or personally, because the Hermit card came out, on your own, unless you need professional guidance. But being very careful, because there are no cards out here showing community or going and working with another. All of this is individual, empower the self work. So I hope that this message and reading helped someone, and I look forward to seeing you in the next reading.